just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. My regrets around it are not for myself, it's for the people around me, the people at work that lost their jobs as a product of what I'd said. I just sort of did a timeline of what had taken place, what had happened, how I genuinely felt about it, asked myself some difficult questions about misogyny and sexism, but it made me think about what I've been in the past.
We're already giggling here at the dos&d show because today's guest is a very, very funny man. We can't wait to chat with him. Marty Sheargold, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Mate, stoked to have you here.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Believe me, I've got nothing on.
Well, you do have something on because you're in the middle of a tour. Let's start there. I'd love to hear about that.
No, the tour's great. I'm really enjoying it. It's great to be back. I never understand people that don't love touring. What's not great about people clapping and cheering and then you going back to a room, having a margarita or a club sandwich, margarita pizza, I'm sober, and then just getting up, flying home and thinking about how great you are. Like, which bit of that is hard work?
Sounds enticing.
Yeah. Well, over the years, we've had a few of your mates come on this show, and one of them that stands out, Lawrence Mooney, was talking a lot about touring.
Yeah.
But he told, he got into a fight one night or someone clipped him, so...
Yeah, but that's Moon.
Yeah, he got clawed.
He stuff happens to Moon when he's on tour.
Okay. Can you give us some insight into some of these
He goes
guys?
out.
He refreshes himself.
Yeah, he'll go out into the public, whereas I don't do that. I'm not. I go back to the room.
Yeah.
Or in my drinking days, we'd drink somewhere quiet. Like, you don't go to the pub over the road from the venue kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? This is going to be full of people that just watched your work, and they're always incredibly over familiar, and which is fine.
Well, people feel that's the thing about media. People feel like they know you so well that they can be familiar, and that for some reason that you've got a job where people can criticise, whether they like you or not. But maybe just going back to the show, tell us a bit about what it's actually about.
Well, when I sat down, because I had the Matilda's furore in February 2025, and I sat down and I thought, well, what am I going to do? I've left a big job doing radio with Triple M, just got out ahead of finding out what the board and management wanted to do, which would have been to get rid of me. So I did that fantastic Aussie thing of quitting about 13 seconds before I was fired. And I thought, well, what am I going to do? So I sat down and started to write this thing. And you know what I did as the first step in the process before I even wrote the show? I just sort of did a timeline of what had taken place.
Yeah.
What had happened, how I genuinely felt about it, asked myself some difficult questions about misogyny and sexism. Did I really see myself that way? Was this a pattern in my work? I tried to sort of really face it front on because it was a pretty serious issue at the time. And I didn't want to just sort of, push it behind me and keep moving forward as if nothing had happened and learn nothing from it. So through that process, I thought, I'll start this show. I'll come on stage in a black cab from London in a Sam Kerr jumper with her number on the back, and I'll pretend to be blind, and I'll just take the piss out of it. And by the time I actually got to the show, it ends up being about 6 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
The cancellation sort of part of it. And it actually, strangely, and this is not really selling the comedy side of the show, is it's become a bit of a love letter to Dad, who passed away in early 2025, and just some of my memories of him and things we did together that were funny. And I mean, I know that sounds incredibly depressing, and I'm feeling quite depressed talking about it. So if you feel like feeling like shit, come and see the show. Or if your dad's just died. Yeah, I mean, it's a hard one to sell in as comedy, isn't it? My dad died, I started writing some jokes about it.
Sounds like a poetry night.
But it's very spoken word, actually. Yeah. A lot of it's a TED talk. I decided to sort of model it off a lot of what I'd seen Hannah Gadsby doing over the years. No jokes.
Well, we actually.
I was
You
going to
boys
say,
all right?
we didn't actually even talk. The name of the show is the Red Card Tour.
Yeah.
So actually, that obviously makes sense with the Matilda thing. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, because we'll talk about how we chat to you today, and there's so many aspects of your career and life that we're really excited to dive into. But I know you've kind of been over this and you've lived it for now a year and a half or whatever we're up to since that Matilda's incident. But hearing you speak about it, I think puts perspective on it, because for a lot of our listeners, they probably have got this preconceived idea about you and what happened, but would love to hear it from the horse's mouth, because you said you've reflected.
Yeah.
Listening to you kind of open up about it gave me a new perspective, and I'd love you to share that with our
Well,
audience.
I wanted to treat it seriously.
Yeah.
I realised I'd offended a lot of people. I think, I talk about this in the show that, and it's a Ricky Gervais truism about life, in that just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really true. I think we live in a world now that takes offence pretty quickly. Sometimes it's justified, sometimes it's not. I think if we just sort of slow down and collectively take a couple of breaths, it's easier to manage your way through these things from both sides of the fence. Mm-hmm. And I slowed down, took a few breaths. I went to ground and just sort of thought about what had happened and my role in it, which was obviously completely central. And so I just think, with time I look back on it, and in a lot of ways it's been a real positive. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it really has. It got me out of a job that I wasn't loving, a job that I'd really given up in that space. It made me really reassess what I wanted to do going forward. It made me think about what I've been in the past, not only in the workplace, but as a voice in the medium. So, I considered all of that stuff. And that's not to say I've made radical changes around the way that I present and deliver that performance version of myself. But it certainly gave me pause to think about, is this really how I want to work? And it turns out I do want to talk about fingering and stuff like that.
Great.
Turns out that's who I am.
Yeah.
You boys all right?
They're
They're a bit quiet in the back there.
Yeah.
A current affair. What was that experience like? Because when they come knocking, it's serious.
Well, the dude rang me, the head guy, and he was lovely, and we had a chat. And obviously, my concern was that it would be an ambush. Mm-hmm. And so I spoke to him. I spoke to the reporter, Steve Marshall, and was assured that it wasn't going to be that, because I know that at the time those sorts of shows can jump on and pile on as well, like we all do when someone has a professional stumble. So I was a bit wary, but having spoken to them and been assured that it was really just a chance to sort of sit down and talk to them about what I'd been through, I was happy to do it. And it was a good experience, which I never thought I'd really, one, be on a current affair, and two, be talking about it as a positive. Normally it's a dodgy mechanic or insulation gone wrong, rebel plumber, that kind of thing. Foot in the door stuff. Remember when the guy who got pinged as the bloke who was coaching the Nippers at Bondi actually ironically tracked down the guy from Hey Dad in Singapore? So you had the sort of, and you can nip this bit out if you want. I can't remember his name, but he was done for being a pedophile, and then he caught up with the pedophile from Hey Dad, all under the auspices of a current affair. And it was the joke I used to make on air that a current affair are finding people left, right and centre, but they couldn't find the pedophile 4 desks down. Which is a tough one for them. It must have been awful news for Tracy Grimshaw at the time. What, no one noticed Damien? I don't know if that was his name.
It is now.
But you know what I mean?
Oh, that's
it's
fun.
like they're kicking doors in left, right and centre, busting the guy who put in a shit hot water system. Has anyone seen Phil? The guy that does nippers at Bondi.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, it's good. But I mean, what was interesting to hear about, like in the incident too, when it actually went to air, you didn't feel that it didn't blow up at the moment it kind of went on air. It blew up kind of afterwards through social media. Is that correct?
It was pretty quick
Okay.
from memory. Someone put something up on their TikTok and sort of posed the question: is this the world we're living in now?
Yeah.
Where a man can say this, quoted me talking about the Matildas, quoted me making light of endometriosis, suggesting it wasn't a real disease, which is just ridiculous. I mean, who could ever think that? Who could ever think that that was anything other than comedy? Whether you agree that it's funny or not, no one could honestly think that somebody doesn't believe endometriosis is a real thing. And yeah, there was a couple of other things in there, I think, as well.
Because from hearing you talk, it sounded like the regret part was really on that comment. The end.
Yeah, from my personal point of view, it was.
and like again, just hearing you say like you apologise to the people that may have been targeted's the wrong word, but when you're talking about the Matildas, like the Matildas themselves, but not apologising to those that would be offended on behalf of.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm happy to apologise to the playing group and their extended. You know that their coach at the time, Tom Samani, was my PE teacher when I was in year 8. Now, Tom wouldn't remember that, but I remember Tom in his short shorts. He was a stunning man. One of the few PE teachers, and I say this honestly, whose testicles I didn't see. That's what I loved about Tom. I loved that he kept his balls to himself.
That is a good trait for a PE teacher.
A rare find in the world of PE teaching. Because those blokes will get their nuts out in a second.
They must have been tight shorts.
They were. They weren't the sort of high-cut marathon ones that a lot of PE teachers in my vintage used to wear around, tell you to run around and
I know the ones you're talking about.
You know the ones, the
I do.
high-cut marathon shorts.
Yep.
They tell you to run around and put the cones out. It's like, well, I'll put the cones out if you put your nuts away. You filthy animal. So in fairness to Tom, I never saw his testicles. I hope Tom thinks that that's okay for me to talk about.
Well, you're not saying
I'm sure he's
negative light. Yeah.
happy with that.
But there was a few things around the Matildas at the time that sort of made me, that must have subconsciously, I've thought about this, made me make any comment about them. Oh, that's right. We were forward selling an Asia Cup game that was happening 12 months later than the conversation we were having about them.
Okay.
It was like, the Asian Cup in 12 months' time. And I've just gone, why are we talking about this? You know, why are we forward selling a game that's happening in 12 months' time? It's like when I first got that job doing breakfast for Triple M and we were giving away tickets. I think it was to Eskimo Joe, who were going to be playing at the Forum Hotel in 14 months' time, and we were doing a ticket giveaway. I'm like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Who knows what they're going to do in 14 months' time? They could be like my dad and be dead. Yeah?
Oh, Jesus.
You know what I mean? What if I'd given Dad those tickets? What a fucking waste.
Well, you would have probably gone in his
I would.
place.
Well, you would have got them for free from Triple M, sure.
Yeah, well, I would have got him for free, but I could have stood next to him, except that he died, obviously.
Well, it sounds like, like you said, you're kind of fed up with radio. So
Yeah, I was,
So that kind of, and I heard you talk about like, you know, having to interview reality TV people that have come off reality TV or just been eliminated the night before, and it's like, do we really have to keep kind of? Yeah, it sounded like it. Maybe the lens had changed from when you started, or the passion that got you in to the job you are now doing.
Well, that's right. I mean, it was 22 years later.
Yeah.
From when I started, and yeah, the passion was no longer there. The only things I was interested in was fighting for the content of the show towards the end. Mm-hmm. And if you were getting into that space with me, you'd want to have a good reason. And so I was really, if anything, I was only ever punchy about someone's opinion of the show. Mm-hmm. We were always really sales driven as a show. We never said no to a client. You know, we were always really proactively trying to win business because that is the business. So the content for me was really the only thing that I could sort of, you know, push back on, which I never really had to either, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? You know, you really, this whole programming thing of bring your life back to air is just used to make me feel awful. people on air talking about losing their car keys or how did you break into your house, 133353. It's just mindless, vacuous shit. And it just rolls on and on and on and always will. And this idea that it's somehow, relevant to the music industry now is ridiculous. No one's ever found a song they like on FM radio. And if you are, you're a simpleton.
Well, it's true. It's all changed.
It is.
The world's completely changed.
Yeah.
But this, this idea that they're breaking new music somehow, or this high rotation of playing the same song 3 times an hour, 6-minute ad windows. I don't know why anyone listens to radio. And I can say that comfortably now. I never understood it when I was there. We've got so much stuff like this that you can have on demand.
Now, we'll be right back to this episode with the great, funny Marty Sheargold, but we've got to talk about CoinSpot.
We do. We couldn't do the show without CoinSpot, and we need to thank them. They are the number one place to buy, sell, and trade all your cryptocurrency, including your Bitcoin for as little as $1, as Dossie tends to do. As I do.
You do
I do as well.
Yeah, it's a very easy app to use. Yep. The user face is very friendly for basic people like you and me.
I actually use it online.
So do I. And, you don't have to put too much in. You can buy Bitcoin for as little as $1 a day. It's that easy.
That's it. Let's get back to the episode with Marty Sheargold.
Have you ever thought of, starting your own thing like this?
Yeah, but I sort of feel like, I don't know, I'm a bit torn about it, I'm a bit torn about getting back into the world of sort of chatting.
Yeah.
I might do something on my own, which I know sounds ridiculous, but just sort of I'm doing little bits on my Instagram that I'm calling The Commute, and it's basically me driving around just talking into the lens of a camera. And I sort of like that. It's in snippets.
Yep.
It's manageable. I don't need a space. I don't need a crew. I've got a guy that can knock it into shape for me. It doesn't feel like it's sort of imposing on my life.
The idea of doing something like this also for the commercialization of it isn't what you're interested in. It's more for the keeping the passion or the I guess when if you're playing golf, you need to keep practicing. It's just to keep your finger on the pulse. Yeah, and I still do actually. I'm still a bit of a news hound. I still look at stuff and think, oh, there's an interesting chat in that, as the world sort of rolls on. But I also sort of pigeonholed myself into that FM world where everything's in 2 and 3 minute grabs. And it's hard to break that pattern of thinking, to sort of stretch out into a longer chat. It's like when I do stand-up, if I haven't had a laugh in 30 seconds, I start to get really tetchy. I'm like, oh, I'm losing this room. That's how us old guys are wired. We're just laughs per minute guys.
Well, that's the world too. Like, it's the world of, I think, like, attention and instant gratification. And it's interesting just hearing you chat, because we've had, over the years, many legends of radio, some that are still in it, some that are out of it. And it's interesting hearing perspectives. Some people, like, generally, they just love the whole aspect of radio. And some people, like you, dislike it. And it's
I was never a radio consumer either. Yeah. I never listened to radio. When I'm in the car, I don't listen to radio. I podcast or I listen to music. I don't have a radio show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I am interested to go back and chat a bit about your career in radio. I know that might be different to what we're talking about now, but I'm interested to go back. But just quickly, probably the last thing on this whole Matilda's thing, what was the kind of comedy community like? Some of your close friends, what was their reaction to it all during the fallout? Did you gain friends, lose friends, everything just rolled on as normal?
No, my really good friends were fine. Yeah. They get that it was what it was. It was never intended to be anything other than an attempt at humour. It was never, for my friends who are 50-something, we sort of look at that stuff and go, wow, okay, this is unfolding in real time. And it's a lesson, it's a lesson in humility for me, and it's a lesson in understanding that there's a shift in the public, and they don't want women disrespected even from a distance or at arm's length. And, certainly I was guilty of that. So it's, you know, it's something to learn from. It can be a positive. It doesn't have to be a heavy negative. You know, it's been difficult for my immediate family, sure, for the kids and stuff to understand what's happened, but they're older now, so they you know, they still sort of haven't had to navigate their way through it. But that's what happens. My regrets around it are not for myself, it's for the people around me and the people at work that lost their jobs as a product of what I'd said. You know, all of the turmoil that it presented for Triple M, for their sales staff, for their executive, for the board. These are big decisions when these kind of things fall over, and they create a lot of havoc in a business like that. So it's never an isolated thing, you know, when someone like me loses a job. You know, it has a huge ripple effect, and for all those people, I feel terribly sorry for them. And I've kept in touch with a few of them as well to make sure they're travelling okay, just in terms of work, you know.
What's the response been, you know, from your family since going on tour, comedy tour? Like, do you practice the routine in front of the kids?
Well, my kids came and saw me for the first time ever as a stand-up at the start of this tour, and they really enjoyed it.
How old are your kids?
17 and 16.
Okay.
And so prior to this, it was all a bit rough and ready for them. But I think because they'd been through this experience with me, with the Matildas, and seeing their dad lose a big job and having to go through that in their own lives, I thought it was important for them to see me in an environment where people want to see me and are supportive and appreciative of me turning up to work, which is what that stand-up world is for me. So it was lovely to have them there. And it was at the Palais Theatre, so it was a good one for them to see. You know, it's better than a little room in Fitzroy where I'm dying in the arse because I'm talking about, you know, Stephen Hawking.
Yeah. Wouldn't go down too well over there, would it?
People don't think electric wheelchairs are funny anymore, and I've always thought they are. They're very heavy too because of the battery. Quentin once ran over my foot in an electric wheelchair. Do you guys remember Quentin?
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't. He was he was in a big electric wheelchair. People will know who I'm talking about. Google Quentin. He's an old mate of Mike Willis's, and he ran over my foot in his electric wheelchair whilst I was trying to help him, actually, trying to guide him to the front of the building where the lift was. He was at the back where the stairs were, and I thought, well, you have very little chance of getting in from this door, Quentin. And as we were having that chat, his wheelchair came off the footpath onto my foot, and I sort of had to. It's difficult
pretend it didn't happen. Yeah.
To sort of tell a person in an electric wheelchair that you're hurting them badly, and could they quickly move their chair off your foot?
Yeah,
they're not. Quentin himself wasn't super quick at moving it.
The joystick,
which is I don't want to generalise and cause more problems for that community.
No.
Some of them are very quick at using their electric wheelchairs. This bloke wasn't.
I once did that with a forklift, actually, at a very old job where the forklift sat on my toe, and very, very painful.
Bit different though, isn't it?
Bit different.
Quentin wasn't in the forklift.
No.
You were operating it.
It was my own.
It was self-inflicted.
It was exactly right. Good word. Very lucky you didn't break my toe.
Moving on.
So. Yeah, you're interested in the start of your stand-up for you too. Like, can you go back to those early days? Was this a
June '93 was my first gig.
Was it the Espy?
At the Esplanade Hotel in the Gershwin room out the back. Before it had all the cosmetic changes it's had now, with the big building above it and all of that stuff. It used to be great out the back there. You'd stand next to the rider and drink VBs, smoke a shitload of pot. You know, whether you were on or not, you still went down there. It had a real community, which Melbourne comedy, we always felt Melbourne comedy had, because the rare times you'd go to Sydney, because that still meant something, going to Sydney in those days, in the sort of early 90s. It wasn't like there was a flight every hour, you know, a city flyer you could jump on for $60 return. It actually meant something. You'd go to Sydney, pay for an airfare, get a hotel room, get paid $150 and lose money. So you just never went. But the few times I did go, there didn't seem to be that community in the Sydney comedy world. It might be there now,
But it's sort of, in Melbourne, you'd go room to room whether you were on or not, just to hang out, have a laugh. Some great people backstage, genuinely funny people. And that's what we sort of did. We all just collectively moved from room to room, having a laugh and drinking beer, unless you're Hughesy, of course.
Yeah, the sober.
Yeah, the sober. Well, I'm sober now, but I wasn't then.
Who else was in that crew?
Of guys standing by the rider. Moon would have been there. Guys like Paul Collegia would have been around in those days. Dave O'Neill.
Yeah, he's a very good comedian.
There was young blokes coming through like Rove McManus. Merrick Watts and Tim Ross were around in those days. Jim Owen.
Yep.
Bob Franklin.
We've been so blessed with comedy in this country.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
last
Glenn Robbins, guys like that.
Bloody hell, yeah.
Tim Smith. There was an older generation, slightly older than me, of guys like Simon Rogers. And yeah, there was a lot of comics around in those days.
Was the ambition, like at that time, going back to 1993, was the ambition just a bit of fun? Did you want to go down the comedy career? Was it TV, radio?
Well, no one was getting jobs in those days.
Yeah.
Because there weren't any jobs. Like Tim Smith used to do radio with Richard Stubbs, who was another great stand-up around that time. Stubbsy's still out there working now. So there wasn't this sort of world that you could move into. There hadn't been a Rove McManus doing Rove Live yet. I think in about 1997 I did Hey Hey.
I was going to ask about that, yeah.
And that was like pretty big. That was a big thing to do in those days. So there wasn't really anything else to do.
Here we go,
got
Marty.
it. We've got
Here we
to actually...
Let's get it up.
There's Daryl. Daryl came into
1996.
the dressing... 96, was it? Daryl came into the dressing room in his dressing gown with a toasted sandwich.
In his dressing gown.
Said g'day.
Here comes Marty.
A
I
young
had to
Marty
borrow that
Sheargold.
jumper off a mate of mine. 'cause
Really?
I didn't have any clothes. That's how poor I was.
Shit.
How's everyone going?
Wow, look at the baby face.
Look how skinny I am.
Just the
God,
seven of us,
I'm
great,
actually
excellent.
very handsome.
I
No
bought a
wonder
pair
I
of those
potted so
new,
many ladies around this time.
Refit Speedos the other day. Have you seen those?
Are
Could
they?
not believe
Look, we
it. They
described
had
those as an
little
acid
pockets
wash,
for me
Jen.
loose change. Little coin
I reckon I'm
Because
4
I don't know the
times
amount
that
of
size
times
now.
I've been in like a massive thumping surf, and I've just thought to myself,
What a
geez,
hand
I'd really like
gestures.
to buy a fisherman's basket about now. Excuse me.
Like, I look
I'm
at the
gonna-
way
I'm
I
gonna get a
deliver
black
this
pen,
stuff
right?
now.
Sew a
I'm
little
clearly
pocket on the back
nervous.
for me wallet,
I've
so I can
got
just like wear them out.
no
Just go out
confidence
of it.
in the routine.
Get out
I was
there,
going to
get the
say,
bar
was this your
340,
kind
I
of
haven't got any
was this
loose
your
stuff,
normal
mate.
routine at the time?
It would have been my normal routine at the time, absolutely, but it's very different working a Hey Hey audience than it is to working drunks at fucking
Yeah,
big time.
10 o'clock at night.
But was that going into, because Hughesy actually spoke about his debut on Hey Hey, and he, in his own head, he's like, all right, now that I've done Hey Hey, I've kind of made it. Everyone will know who I am and my career. Did you have a similar mindset?
No, I never thought about my career like that. I never thought about my career at all, actually. I just kept rolling on from gig to gig, and I was just enjoying life. I wasn't sitting down with a 5-year vision board going, how can I approach Channel 10 with my show idea? That wasn't my sort of caper. And I stumbled into every job I've ever had, and every job I ever had was from a mate.
Yep.
And so I've never had a manager. I've never had a manager. I just went from job to job, and, the thought of sort of paying someone 20% over the last 30-odd years would make me sick. I couldn't sleep at night, you know what I mean? When all you need to do is know someone who knows someone and read a contract. I've never understood. I mean, I guess...
Have you been approached, I'm sure, plenty of times over the years?
No, not really. No, I've never been approached because I think I was pretty adamantly anti-management, and it just happened to work for me. I got a good long-running job. I understood the business. I understood my worth in the business, and I could, I'd always pay a good lawyer to look at everything. I'm not pretending I'm sitting at home doing the fine print, but I'd also, over the years, understood the language of the business, understood where those issues that can arise contractually can affect you as a performer, and try and minimise those. And that's really all the business is, trying to remove fuckwittery and get the most money you can.
What would a typical, not financially, but like in a contract, say for, a radio show you'd sign, is it a longer term deal? Like, do you sign like a multi-year deal, or is it, we see how it goes for a year and then
I think it can be lots of things.
Yeah.
I used to try and sign slightly longer deals.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years sort of deals, just for the security of them.
Sure.
But you wouldn't want to go any longer than that, because you want to keep going back to the market and find out what you're worth.
Yeah.
If you're getting locked away for long periods of time, you're only affecting your earning ability.
Yeah.
You need to be constantly able to go back and leverage growth against return. And, it's a pretty quantifiable business. If you're selling ads, you'll be fine. There's a misconception in radio that the ratings are really a big part of your success. They're not really. They're a tool for people from advertising agencies and sales departments to get together and place and position ads in the business. And they're a handy tool. But if you're selling ads and your ad inventory's full and you're earning revenue, you've got a job for life. Unless you say you'd rather drive a nail through the head of your cock than watch the Matildas, and then the rest can go
Did you
slightly pear-shaped.
Did you have how do the ratings actually? I've never understood with the ratings, like the point system, and we're up a point or down a point.
It's a methodology out in the suburbs. It's changed a bit over the years. It used to be paper diaries that would be delivered to houses in the suburbs. I used to deliver about 1,500 of them.
So it's still very small.
You've got to extrapolate serious numbers from that size, and you tick your listening habits. And you were supposed to tick 15-minute increments, but you can imagine how that went. The day before you knew the guy was coming back to get your diary.
Yeah. It's like me in my year 10 exam.
Who's ever done anything in their life properly, ever? Why would radio surveys be any different? So the methodology of them has now moved online. I believe they pay people to do it now as well, or certainly parts of it.
They've popped up on, like, I've seen them online before, but I don't know how legit it is. Like,
Yeah,
it says
well,
pick the
that's
ones
all-
you listen to and what time.
And if you're in that radio world, the way that programming sort of deal with them is it really is. It's a big day, the 8 times a year they come out.
Yeah.
Now I would never get into them unless they favoured me, and then I'd fucking leverage off them like a maniac.
Yeah.
But generally, I'd never get into them, and I wouldn't let people get into them with me. If you were programming, I wouldn't sit down and have a conversation with you 8 times a year about the numbers, because I didn't believe the methodology, and I didn't believe that they were really accurate from what, I was hearing anecdotally about the radio show and how I felt about the content. I didn't need to hear from you what you thought those numbers represented, 25 to 54-year-old men. Oh, fuck off. Honestly, now I'm feeling triggered.
Can you actually on radio gauge how many people are listening is there actually a way to know how many people are listening at one time, or is it just a guessing game?
Well, it is a guessing game
Yeah.
because you are extrapolating from those numbers.
Yeah. So no one really knows how many people are listening at any one time to...
No, in the same way that, the old OzTam or whatever they call it now for the TV is an extrapolation of 1,500, 2,000 set top boxes around the country.
Yeah.
So you just, it's guesswork based off a very limited size sample. Or I guess there's an accuracy in expanding from that sample's numbers into something that, has a bigger number attached to it that you can consume on behalf of your programming team. But honestly, fuck me if I sat in one more bullshit meeting with a fucking idiot of a bloke who would honestly look me in the eye and talk to me about demographics and grocery buyers. I'd think, fuck you fucking, honestly.
This might be a good time to move to the segment.
All right, let's move to the pilot mystery box.
Yeah.
We love this pilot.
The pilot.
Pilot.
The pilot.
He's the best pilot in the galaxy.
It's time, everybody, for the mystery box brought to you by Pilot. Dots.
Now, here's the thing about hair loss. Most guys notice it way before they do anything about it. You see the drain, you see the hairline, you tell yourself it's fine, then one day it's not.
It's not. Pilot exists for that exact moment. An Australian health company, 100% online. You take a quick quiz, a health practitioner reviews your info, and your treatment is delivered discreetly to you. No clinic, no waiting room, no one needs to know.
I feel like this is targeted. I feel like this isn't coincidence that today is sponsored by the hair guys.
The 2-in-1 hair loss treatment plan, Marty, has worked for over 90% of eligible patients. And if you're not happy after 180 days, you get your money back.
The earlier you jump on, the better your chances. Check it out at pilot.com.au, and it is a shame Pilot weren't around.
Oh, here we go.
Full of many mysterious questions around health.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Pull one out at random. That's definitely not been placed on.
Oh, I'm just reading this.
And we'd love to know.
Am I
what
reading this?
Yeah, we'd love you to read
Have
it.
you experienced stress / pressure to the point of burnout? Yeah, absolutely. I have. I had a very extended break from work of about seven weeks at the end of 1 year.
Okay.
I think I'd been doing Fisk, I'd been doing stand-up, I'd been trying to do a breakfast radio show, and I got to the back end of that year and I was just cooked. And I tell you when it was the same time that Alistair Clarkson took a break from the North Melbourne Football Club.
Right.
And I know this sounds ridiculous, but I saw him take a break and then I saw Damien Hardwick pull the pin. And I thought, what am I doing? I need to take a break. I was absolutely cooked. Real struggle street stuff. So, yeah, I've been there. How does that relate to hair cream, though, mate?
Well, there are health.
Men's health.
Oh, it's
there's many aspects of what they do. So there's a mental health, there's a sexual health, there's the hair
Well,
loss.
I need help with my sexual health.
Yeah, well,
stuff
they can.
too.
I tell you what, very, very good. Very, very
Because
good.
with all jokes aside, should I have pus coming out of the head of my penis?
Unless
just a
you drive a
question
nail through
between
it.
us
Yeah,
as
if you drive a
fellas.
nail through it, maybe. Outside of that,
Yeah,
They do
probably
help with
not.
erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I've never had a problem with that.
Well, then you're good.
But here's a couple of things I've never heard in the bedroom. Ow, that hurt.
Well, that's good.
Ouch, that's too big. I've never heard that.
That's okay.
I think that's quite normal not to hear that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've heard things like, wow, what a wand. A wand?
Wait, you have heard that?
Yeah, like, oh, I didn't know you had a magic wand.
Well,
Mine's never been called a wand before.
no.
Yeah, well, mine's got a Harry Potter vibe.
It's got a scar on it, doesn't it?
It's got a scar on it, and oh, geez, I almost got us all cancelled there.
Oh no.
Nah, it's Harry Potter stuff, mate. It's all fine.
Yeah.
You can move in that
Expelliarmus.
world. It's the older Harry Potter stuff that I'm more interested in.
So
I'm definitely burnout, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone burns out. It's just as men we tend to just push on, don't we?
yeah.
But we're
I
like-
think women do that too, and they don't take enough credit for the burnout they go through either.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, yeah.
Burnout seems to have become like exclusively a male thing now. No one used to talk about burnout until men started feeling burnt out. Do you know what I mean? And then it became a conversation. Whereas women have been burnt out forever. No one gave a fuck. This is me attempting to be a feminist, by the way. One for the sisters. But I'm serious.
I think your ticket sales have gone radically up.
Yeah.
In the Fitzroy
I had a couple
area.
of people walk out of the show the other night, which very rarely happens. And I said to the bloke, "What are you leaving?" He went, "Yeah." I go, "Why?" He goes like this: "We gave it a go." Fuck me. Mate, he would have heard me from the car park. I was still going him as he was getting into his car, mate. Then I was into him and his wife. I went the whole family. There's only two of them there. I was talking about their shit kids. What an awful life they have. He's got a bit of burnout now, I reckon.
Yeah, he's definitely taking leave of absence.
Well, it does say on your when promoting the show that that guy, because you do say you need a 2-hour park.
Yeah.
But 1 hour almost get you there. He might have had the 1 hour park.
He might have had the 1 hour park. I'm actually doing about an hour and a half if I'm enjoying it,
There you go.
which is rare. Because normally you try to do the bare minimum, do you know what I mean? As a comic. So we used to work with guys like Pete
45.
Rosethorne, brilliant comic. Pete Rosethorne taught me how to get to a gig 4 minutes before you need to be on stage and to shake everyone's hand and walk out of the room after it. He was a bandit. If you were emceeing and Pete was on the bill, you'd be like, fuck, where is he? And then he'd just turn up.
Right as you're announcing his name.
Oh, that's my
Bright
worst
as a
nightmare. I
button.
get nervous about that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
mate,
when
I
they-
get nervous about that stuff.
Yeah.
I sat out in the car for 20 minutes.
Did you? You should have come in.
No, I was
you
on
knew
the
our
phone,
you knew our
catching up
former
with
guest.
blokes.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I
get
actually
it.
saw Marty on the AirPods outside.
I can't stand being late.
No, I'm the same.
I have a pathological fear of arriving late. And I find it so disrespectful when people are late.
Yes.
Like if we say 7 o'clock, how can I be here at 7?
Correct.
But you're here at 7:15, 7:20.
Don't get me started, Marty.
He always says 6:40. If you're later than 6:45, that's late. So if you're meeting at 7, get there at 6:45.
Yeah, I feel like that too. Don't get there at 7:15 because at what point do you get to leave?
Yeah. Well, it just very clearly states I value my own time more than I value your time.
Exactly. Have you ever been completely stood up in life?
I don't think so. It's a good question.
I think I was locked in for a meeting with someone once. Back in my sales
We've been
days.
stood up. We've been stood up for this podcast once a
Have
long
we?
time ago. Which fair enough. No one was listening then, so it was fair enough.
Who stood us up?
A gentleman we never actually had on the show. It was
Just-
a private eye from Sydney. Remember we got on
Oh,
Zoom and
yeah,
we're ready
that's
to
right.
go. And
Private
And just no show.
just no showed us.
No call, nothing.
Nothing.
I got stood up years ago before phones. So that could happen
Yeah.
because you had no way of letting anyone know they weren't turning up.
Yeah.
It's a strange concept.
Well,
But you'd just say, I'll meet you at the cafe at 11, and if no one turned up, that was it.
was this a business thing or a
no,
romantic
this was
thing?
just a mate,
Ah, yeah.
an old mate who
What
I
time
hadn't
do you
seen
say
for a
I'm gonna-
long time, and I was really looking forward to catching up with back in Canberra. And we organised a date and a time to catch up, just full no-show.
Wrong cafe.
Oh, yeah, well, it could have been anything.
Still on the topic of what do you call it? Not punctuation.
Punctuality.
Yeah, punctuality. Who's maybe you don't have to name a name, but has there been a celebrity guest that you've had to interview or someone of the cameo type that did a no-show or came in late or?
Oh, we've had a few over the years. One of the funniest ones, there was a couple of footballers actually. Addo Carr no-showed us once. We've never forgotten it because it was really early in our Melbourne breakfast days. I mean, I couldn't even remember blokes that no-show, but I remember this one because we were a new show and we were relying on blokes to sort of, particularly guys with a profile like Addo Carr in Melbourne at the time.
Melbourne Storm player.
Melbourne Storm player he was then. And it was just a full no-show. It was like phone off. We're like, oh no, okay. Who else no-showed us? Jim Jeffries no-showed us.
no.
And then I had a shot at Jim on air because I'd been told by people around Jim that he was really tired and he was going to sleep in or he'd slept through it or a version of sleeping was attached to it. And it shat me at the time because we were all getting up at 4.
Yeah, of course.
And, we would have loved to sleep in. So Jim tracks me down and rings me and goes, I've heard you've been saying I'm an arsehole and stuff. And I said, oh, well, don't buy the act, Jim, but also, mate, people were there waiting for you to turn up. We had a young girl who'd come in specifically for him to be there, to take him to whatever booth he had to be in or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But, it's a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did call you out on air. But, calm down, Jim. You don't need to track me down. You're doing all right, mate. What do you give a fuck what do you think? What do you care what I think? I don't think it's hurting your brand, Jim. That is your brand, isn't it?
Well-
Isn't that his brand?
Yeah.
I'm not actually a massive Jim Jeffries watcher, to be honest.
Well, he rang me and left a message, and I guess he probably thought I'll never hear from this bloke. But if you go to the trouble of calling me, of course I'm going to call you back if you've got an issue. Do you know what I mean?
I saw he was on Mick Malloy's Celebrity Intervention.
Yeah, him and Mick are great mates.
Are they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good mates. Mick and him have worked together a lot over the years. I'm sure he's a good guy.
Yeah, he would be.
He just got offended that I'd called him out on this thing. And he said, we flew into town late, I said, yeah, right, yeah.
All right, Jim.
He'll probably ring me now and say, why are you bringing it up again?
Well, Jim, I
It's
don't
been
have
5 years, Marty.
It's like I don't have
Move
a
on.
job. The guys asked me if anyone had stood me up, Jim, and your name came up.
We won't clip the bit of us asking the question.
No, it'll just be me going, Jim Jeffries, fucking arsehole.
Yeah, exactly.
We've talked about some of the things. I want to move on to maybe some of the positive memories or some of the highlights of your career. 'Cause I feel
There
like-
are none, mate.
Okay, next question. But like you've done a lot of TV work over the years. You've obviously had different radio spots in different parts of the country. You've done different times. You've done breakfast. You've done drive. Like I'm interested to hear about maybe when you reflect on a more positive note. What are some of the things you're more proud of?
I really loved the early days when it was Fifi Box and Byron
Yeah.
Cook and I. There was a real sort of innocence and naivety around making that radio. We didn't understand fully. Well, I won't say we. I didn't really understand anything other than turning up and trying to sort of have an attitude to things. I was never a joke writer. I always wanted to just have really strong opinions and attitudes because I thought, well, this is going to be, if this ends up being a long ride and I'm sitting down trying to write 42 jokes a morning, this is going to suck balls. I was always just an attitude guy, and Fife and I used to have great chemistry in those early days. So I really enjoyed that
How
time.
many years did you guys work together?
I reckon we worked for 4 or 5 years together.
It's a long
Maybe
stint.
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, she's a really great broadcaster, Fife.
Yeah.
And she's still plugging away. We never really... I don't think we really align in the kind of radio that we wanted to make, and that sort of probably started to show towards the end. But that's okay. Fife's a really great broadcaster, and she's really good at what she does. It wasn't necessarily the sort of radio that I wanted to make or that I was good at making. So I guess we ended up making very different radio shows at the end of my time in radio.
Is it hard because when you're thrust into a show and they grab a person here, a person there, and a person here, and now you all come together. You may not have years of chemistry or knowing each other, or like you said, different styles. How do you creatively as a group come together to?
It's really challenging, and
Yeah.
it's been a real programming thing over the years of just crowbarring people together, rather than sort of having the confidence like Triple M finally did with me of letting me build my own show with my own group of people. They really do tend to crowbar people together and just see how it goes.
It's almost like we'll grab a comedian, we'll grab a footballer,
Yeah.
we'll grab someone we know who can host or and it's
Keep it all on track.
keep it all on track. Maybe a producer or someone
person.
a news
And
person.
that does work.
Yeah.
That has worked in the past.
It definitely has.
And it will
Yeah.
continue to
I've
work.
listened
It's
to
just
plenty.
an interesting way to come about putting a team of people together, because very rarely is there any lead up to it either. You might do 2 or 3 trial shows and then bang, they're flicking the switch. So I think it's potential for hit and miss is pretty high as well. Certainly the miss end of it. If you can get yourself into a position where you're either presenting like the two of you would now, if you wanted to go into that space, you'd present as this working arrangement rather than going in individually and having a team built around you because someone did well on Dancing with the Stars. And
I'm a celebrity.
And there was a carpenter who was pretty funny as well.
Yeah, real chemistry.
I love
Yeah,
that. That's so
yeah.
funny.
What's it? You a Makita guy? Yeah, I thought you might be. So tell us about Dex.
Yeah,
I said Dex, Gavin.
riveting. Sounds like community radio.
Really good stuff. eh?
What about some of the TV stuff you've done? Some of the skit shows, some of the things you've worked on? Like you've done a lot over the journey, some of the great people you've worked with.
Yeah, well, I've been really lucky to as I said, I've only ever been approached by friends.
Yeah.
So I've never been sort of parachuted into a sort of group of people I wasn't comfortable with. And I've said no to a lot of stuff over the years, a huge amount of stuff.
Dancing with the Stars.
I've said no to that. I've said no to the Jungle. I mean, the list goes on. I've said no to everything, really. And I said no because I didn't need to do it.
Yeah.
I get why people do it. I always took this sort of highfalutin attitude to it, like I was somehow above it. But I never really felt that. I just had a job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I get why people do those shows, and they can be really positive career-building experiences. Really positive. I mean, God, this is an extreme example, but look at Robert Irwin Dancing with the Stars in the US. It's this huge profile builder for him. Massive. Like, he already had a great profile from the Irwin family name, but God, he's just next leveled it. And in fact, when Fee and I started doing Sydney Breakfast years ago, she was doing one of the early series of Dancing with the Stars, and she had a very successful run on that show, and it was a great career builder for her. So I get why people do it. I just had the luxury of being able to say no to a lot of it and then pretend from a distance that it was beneath me, which was a fun angle to take.
So what? Because it was a massive success, and I only recently watched the whole show. But Fisk, loved it, by the way.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it. Found it out of kind of my girlfriend's mum actually put it on. Sorry to tell you that.
No,
and I sat
get
and I was
that.
watching it, and then I just loved it. Binged it all in about a few days. But did Kitty reach out to you? Was that another friend kind of?
Yeah,
job?
that was that one was slightly different because Kitty's man is a man called Artie Lang, who tours her, and I think Artie is Kitty's manager. I'm not entirely sure about that bit, but I know that when Kitty does stand up, Artie tours her, and when I do stand up, Artie tours me. So we had that connection there, and so I said to Artie, I'd heard Kitty was doing this show. It was in the middle of the pandemic, or one of the pandemics. It just went forever. Who knows which bit it was. I said to Artie, if Kitty wants me to have a read for it, I'd love to have a read for something. And then this part turned up as a script, and when I initially did it, I got the kids to film it on the iPad because we were all in lockdown, and I just gave up on their schooling in lockdown because it was all that WebEx stuff. I was like,
Yeah. Jeez, it
honestly.
feels like a lifetime ago.
And I just said, why don't you guys film this on the iPad? We'll have a bit of fun. And then I ended up getting the part.
We might see if you got a scene.
Crazy process to go through, getting your kids to film it. They were fighting over who could have a go of filming. I was working opposite my partner, who was like working with a bit of flotsam. Honestly, talk about working with a piece of wood. She was awful.
How do you go as an actor? Do you like they're like different?
He's very
Well,
good.
I studied as an actor. I went to the
Oh, really?
Victorian College of the Arts. That's
Okay.
why I moved to Melbourne.
Right.
And at the end of the first year, the dean of the school said to me, we think there's other things you could be doing with your career. So they said, look, if you want to, you can come back and redo the first year. But my ego wouldn't let me do that. I left. And, 6 months later, I did my first stand-up gig.
Wow.
But I was originally here to sort of study acting. And
What kind of acting were you interested in?
I wasn't really. I just was doing arts at the ANU at the time and doing a lot of amateur theatre, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't know that acting meant rolling around in the same tracksuit pants for 12 months, eating dim sims and potato cakes. I was not aware
nice,
that
actually. Yeah.
I was not aware that that's what acting was. The guy that kicked on from that year is an actor called Jason Clarke. Do you know Jason Clarke?
No.
You'd know his face. He's done a lot of work. He was in Planet of the Apes,
Oh, okay.
Everest.
Yep.
He's a good actor, Clarkey. He always acted with his hands. That's what I remember about him. He's a big hands guy. and he
Well,
had
your
massive-
Hey was very.
Mate,
It was handsy.
So
You
maybe-
must have learned off him.
I did.
Clarkey. Aaron Chen.
He had a
he-
massive penis by all reports too,
Did he?
Clarkey. Not
But he didn't have-
confirmed,
but
I'm
he-
just saying that.
But he
for
didn't have a
fun.
wand.
No, he didn't have a wand. He never put anyone to sleep. That's why my nickname's the Dream Time. I think you can
The
still
Dream
say
Time.
that. That's just fun, isn't it? No
Right
one's-
when I said Aaron Chen, he said massive penis as well. I went Aaron Chen, and then you said massive penis.
Who said that?
I just said Aaron Chen, and then you jumped in to say massive.
Massive penis. Well,
Yeah.
Aaron, famously.
Yeah. I was going to ask. I went to ask about Aaron.
Have you had Aaron on?
No, but
You
I
should
love
get
his
him.
stuff too. And well, he's obviously over. Is he still over in America?
He's having a tilt in the States. He's going really well.
You must be proud of him and rap for him because
Mate, I'm really happy for him. He's a lovely guy, Aaron Chen, and he's worked really hard. He's not, stumbled into the business. He's proactively worked his bum off, and he's over in the States having a big crack. And I think he was supporting Ali Wong on some of her stand-up tour. I mean, I hope I've got that right. He was doing all sorts of bits and pieces. One of the series of...
You just had a Netflix special come out as well.
Yeah, right. I haven't seen that. One of the series we did, he was working already on trying to break into the US with some product that he was trying to push over there. So he's a really proactive, hard-working guy, and he's funny as well. So, and he's a really professional guy to work with. He's always prepared. He's really unassuming. He's very polite. He's good company. He's a lovely guy.
What and I always love asking people in comedy this question. Like, who are your influences? What kind of makes you laugh? What do you like in either TV shows or stand-ups or whatever it may be?
Bill Burr, I've always enjoyed his comedy. We've seen so many comics.
Yeah.
We've been spoiled. The first comedian I ever saw was Eddie Murphy's Delirious.
Yeah.
Classic.
As a teenager, and that was just outrageous. Guy in a full red leather suit. It's like, what is going on here? I'm watching it with me mate Salvo in the suburbs of Canberra, just with a remote that was still attached to the VHS by a cord. We're just sitting there as kids going, who the hell is this? It was just crazy. When we were that age, guys like Rodney Roode were already out there. Comics like that we grew up with, George Smilovich, Vince Sorrenti. Yeah, there was some great comedians.
Vince Sorrenti, that's a name I haven't heard for a while.
Oh, Vince Sorrenti's still out there working.
Oh, no, he was a legend.
And he's a lovely man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comedy influence there.
Any TV shows in particular you grew up with or even nowadays?
Comedy-wise,
Yeah.
what do we grow
You
up?
mentioned Ricky Gervais. Are you a big Office fan? Or
Yeah, I was an Office fan. I sort of feel like it's hard to be an Office fan now because it's been done to death.
Yeah.
That style
Yeah.
of sort of, innocent sort of bemusement wrapped in sort of buffoonery and just an Office idiot. It's like, God, fuck. We all realise that is actually our life.
Yeah.
You kept looking at people going,
in sync.
God, that is just like David Brent. Oh, you're a fuckwit. It was like, and it was an awful realisation, wasn't it? You'd just be in a meeting going, oh, no.
Well, I think Ricky Gervais once said, if you don't know a David Brent in your life, you're probably the David Brent in other people's lives.
Mate, that is so true, isn't it? If you're looking around going, who's the David Brent in here?
It's probably
What a sad realisation.
Isn't it awful?
Oh, God.
But imagine if you really did realise that and you were like, fuck, I think I'm the David Brent.
Oh, shit.
I've been looking for the David Brent.
For years.
And it's...
Did you ever listen to some of Ricky's radio stuff at XFM? Were you ever across that?
No, I never really listened to that. I knew he'd had a history with radio.
Yeah.
And I sort of didn't really bump into him till he was working with Stephen Merchant and that phase of his career. I knew he'd done a really successful podcast before podcasting was successful. Like he was one of the first guys to use that subscription model as well. So, I knew bits and pieces about him, but he's been incredibly successful in that sort of, his Golden Globe stuff where he just stood in front of Hollywood and just served it up to them is just, superb.
Legendary,
Makes Pang's Logie stuff look pretty tame.
Well, on Pang, actually, what's on Pang?
Micro penis is what I've heard.
Thanks. You've answered it before I asked. No, but the tour with Pang, Mooney, Malloy, and yourself.
Yeah, the comedians, great fun.
What a lineup! What a tour!
Oh my God, the dinners.
Bit of fun, I'm
I
sure.
was still drinking then.
Well, there you go. Was that why you stopped?
For most of it, I was still drinking. I had a period of sobriety with those boys, which was...
Lawrence referenced it as 3 comedians and Sam Pang. That's what he said on this show.
That's how we treat Pangy. Well, he's a Johnny come lately to the business as a whole, but certainly
Johnny
the
come
stand-up. But he held his own, more than held his own. He was great.
and great touring company. Just a great bunch of guys to tour with. We're older. There are no issues. We're touring the way you would expect 4 gentlemen to tour. There's no corners being cut on those tours.
No.
It's a very extravagant lifestyle, as it should be. And we had a great time. Big crowds, good fun. There was a couple of large nights thrown into the mix.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Some belting nights. Just,
Any particular towns or places that
we
come to mind?
all say the same one. Well, I assume we do. Foolishly, they gave us a night off in Perth, and we all went straight to the bar off the plane. We all flew in. Some of us flew in from different places, so there was just 4 bags waiting for us at reception at about 4 a.m. when we finally ready to go to the room. Yeah, that night in Perth was a cracking night. It was a very big night. Very big night.
Time?
And there was some big drinkers on that tour. Proper drinkers.
Who was best on?
Names?
Oh, all of us.
Yeah, all
really.
of them.
When we all take the gloves off.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to see it.
I mean, Pag's always a lightweight at whatever he does, whether it's TV or comedy or drinking. He's a genuine lightweight and always will be. But
And the only one to cop on this show today having a smaller
Sized.
sized, yeah.
Oh, and he'll happily
genitalia.
tell you that.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah.
You two mates?
Are we mates? Well, we're
Not anymore.
mates.
I was going to say, not anymore.
We're mates. It's such a great question, matehood, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
It's like,
It is.
are we
Interesting
mates?
word.
Of course we're mates. Are we hanging out on the weekends? No. But who do you hang
No.
out with on the weekends? Do you know? The older
Not many
you get-
mates.
Yeah, fuck, mate. My circle of friends is the same blokes I went to school with, to be fair.
Which
Well,
is a credit.
I think that's actually
Yeah.
more rare than you think.
Yeah, well,
Like, you're pretty lucky.
My 2 best friends are blokes that I went to school with, and they always will be. And so really, I'm pretty. My friendship circle over the years is just, as you age, you just drop them off.
Well, it's a reality. Is
It
it
is.
time for
I
the
think
final segment?
It is. The CoinSpot hot seat.
Tell
Dean.
us about CoinSpot, Dossy Boy.
CoinSpot is the best and easiest place to buy and sell all your cryptocurrencies.
Yes, you can buy your Bitcoin for as little as $1. That's all you need, $1 to get involved today. Check them out, CoinSpot. Download the app today. Now, we've got a multiple choice question for you, Marty. In
Okay.
post-production, you'll hear the music and everything like that. So it's a bit like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So this is your question for today.
Has the music started yet?
The music has started.
Okay.
Who is a
I
funny...
love the music.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It makes you really feel like, you're on hot seat.
It's thinking music.
It is. It's not quite Jeopardy, but it is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. So, who is the funniest person you've worked with across your career? Is it A, Mick Malloy? Is it B, Fifi Box? C, Lawrence Mooney? D, Kitty Flanagan? Or E, other?
Jeez, that's a tough question.
We'd love a story behind one of them.
They're all so talented, and they're all talented in different mediums. If it was straight stand-up, it'd be Moon.
Yep.
Just a world-class comic. And Mick and I have had great fun. Fife and I have great fun. Who was the other one?
Kitty.
Kitty Flanagan. I mean, Jesus Christ. She's such a wonderful story, Kitty Flanagan.
Who do we
First-
lock in? A, B, C, or D?
You know what? I'll lock in Kitty Flanagan.
Okay.
And I'm going to lock her in because of her whole story.
Okay.
When we were young comics, she was a Sydney comic. We were all Melbourne comics. We'd heard of her. And she'd come to Melbourne occasionally and be like, gee, she's funny. Then she moved to the UK, and she really moved to the UK. Like, that was unheard of. I think her and a guy called Matt Hardy and
I've actually seen her popping up on all these clips
sketch
with,
shows.
with Lee Mack
Yeah.
all the time.
She did
I'm
a
like,
big-
is that Kitty Flanagan?
She did a big sketch show over there. I can never remember the
Such
name
good-
of it.
Yeah, they're great skits.
And she was a proper working comic, jump on the train and go to Manchester and do 2 shows on a Tuesday. That whole world of proper stand-up. That's why she's such a great stand-up now, and she knows the trade so intimately. But also, from a writing point of view with Fisk, and sitting opposite her in Fisk is an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a genuine talent, Kitty Flanagan. And a proper... Julia Morris was the other woman who went to the UK and had a tilt. I'm sure there are others I've forgotten, but it meant something then. Now kids go to Edinburgh, they know they're going to lose $2,000, they don't care. We were so hardwired, if we thought we were going to lose $2,000, we wouldn't go. Then Leno and Woodley went and won the Perrier one year in like the late 90s, and we were like, Jesus, they've won the best show at the Edinburgh Festival. That was a big thing. Now they give it to any dimwit with half a leg. Anyone with a limp and a wig.
I love Lane and Woodley, by the way.
I just want them to do some jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
All right.
Should we bring out?
I think we're bringing out the goodies.
Let's do
All
it.
right,
What do
let's
you got
bring
for
out
us
the goodies.
first,
Are you
Jared?
sure this has been interesting?
I promise you, I've had a good laugh.
Because fuck me, I haven't stopped talking since I got here.
That's the point. That's the point of
That's the
these
point,
things.
Marty. That's the point. It's
But
all
are
about-
people laughing and having fun?
Well, they'll let us know in the comments pretty quickly, and so mind you, so we'll find out. But I'm sure they have.
No,
been.
but other people that sit here, do they make you laugh and have fun? Because I haven't seen
yeah.
you guys even smile.
What? Oh.
Jared, get the fucking stuff in here, will you?
All right, Marty's getting his gifts and then pissing off. Milkman Australia,
Oh, this is
leading
fun.
the way in all things men's grooming. Now, we've got a
Ooh.
special little pack for Marty,
Yes.
which is
It's a
more
beard
beard
pack.
care. So, what's in that little
that's-
sachet?
This is beard milk.
There's beard milk. Yep.
I've had beard milk before.
You don't drink it, obviously.
It was
It doesn't magically make your beard
it was
grow.
from a lovely man in Paddington in Sydney who beard milked me. It was beautiful. I can't remember.
Is there a
I
beard
I
brush in-
shouldn't
is
do
there a
this,
beard
should
brush
I?
in
Because
there?
milkmen are trying to.
Milkman,
sell
they're very
products.
relaxed, and they,
Are they?
yeah, they're no. Benny looks after us. Oh, there's your sense there.
This looks like a Zempic to me.
That looks like something pilot.
Speaking from a man from experience.
Yeah, it sounds like you know exactly what it.
It's either that or insulin.
Actually does look a bit like insulin.
This is the
That's your-
fragrance
that's your
discovery.
Yeah.
of
So you get to
Ice
try a
Pack.
bit of everything.
Yeah, so let us know which one you like. And
Every
we'll-
scent is a discovery.
I actually,
Why don't you test one out?
Oh, of course I can test
I
one
actually
out.
got a nice compliment last night on
Did
one,
you?
one of
Did you?
those. Yeah,
By a
So am I
younger
putting
lady?
this?
a younger lady. Yeah.
Am I putting this in my beard or what?
No,
am
No, I
this
think
is
it's
nah,
just
this is
the
your,
neck,
this is just
yeah.
your cologne.
Or the-
Yeah,
or the-
go on the wrist and have a little smell.
Okay, this is
They
very,
all smell very
a
different.
very
There-
feminine application.
Yeah, it
you may
is.
have
Yeah,
noticed.
No.
nothing wrong with that.
There's no nasties in Milkman products. There's
No, the
others.
milkman. That's a lovely one. I don't know what one it
perfect.
is because I haven't got my glasses
Well, let us know,
on.
and Milk and Benny and Milkman will sort you out with the full shebang. But in there, mate, there's a few products.
Yeah, there's
some,
other stuff.
there's
I
some
mean, we
stuff.
don't have to go through it all.
No, but
And I haven't got
I
my
don't-
glasses on, so I've got no idea
Oh,
what
well,
it is.
he gets the
I know what
boozy
I'll
body
be doing
wash.
with that. Obviously, masturbate.
I was going to say it's a 3-in-1, but now it's a 4-in-1 if
Well,
you
it's
want to use
just
it.
a
as
one-on-one.
Yeah,
is
okay,
what it
one-on-one.
is. It should
Okay.
just be called. They should call it
two-in-one.
milkman wank.
and you smell great afterwards, and that's
It's
amazing.
a rum and cola.
Yeah.
A flavoured wank. My favourite kind.
And the wife will
Southern
never know.
Comfort, man, but I'll have a rum and cola wank.
Shit. Head to milkmanaustralia.com, use the code dos&d,
Oh, he's having a brush of the
and get 20% off. You can get it today for Father's Day as well. Great
Father's
gift for
Day's
the
coming
dads.
up. This
Is
is great.
Father's Day coming up?
coming
It
up,
is.
so,
I'd love
yeah.
to meet my kids one day.
Well, they can use 20% off a Milkman and get you some more of that stuff.
Some of that
I'm
wank
always
gifts.
frightened that there'll be a knock on the door in a few years' time and it'll be like a 22-year-old.
Well-
She's like, "You're my dad." I'm like, "Fuck, I'm not surprised, mate."
I have that
Some of
fear
my
too.
early
Not-
form.
You need some of the pilot.
Because whoever wore condoms, am I right?
well, I'm not
just trying to
answering that
make you
anymore.
feel
I don't have any children yet.
Jared's
Thank
loving it.
God.
Sorry, I'm getting a laugh.
always rubber up, gentlemen.
Yeah, oh,
Mate,
absolutely.
We can't. This is
Now this
alcohol
might
for a
okay. So
sober
bring
man.
bring this out, but this might be for
What's this
someone
one?
in the family. So this is we know you're sober, but
Oh, this is Tommy's
spirits.
Spritz.
Now don't. This is a problem. You are sober. If you drink that, you might not be anymore because it tastes bloody great.
Oh, it's 5%. That's a lot in a can, isn't it?
It's a taste of Italy. There's so basically
It's Italian.
so what it is.
I've
So
had a taste of Italy.
how was that?
I think that was her name. Well, I just turned into Shane Bourne.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that story. It's off air. Tommy's is a beautiful spirits, Marty. Now, they own Freddy's Pizzeria on Chapel Street. Well, the boys have been really, really generous. They're going to send you and your
Good on
family
them.
for a night out on them.
How lovely.
So you'll be able to, the family will be able to have a Tommy's on tap or a glass of red while you eat the beautiful pizza, Dos, the wood-fired pizza at Freddy's.
Good on
And the
Freddy's.
pasta.
But you can pick up your Tommy's. Definitely check out Tommy's. It's a beautiful spirit. I have them every weekend. They're beautiful. 15% off.
What are you drinking through the week?
I don't touch throughout the week.
Is that right?
Yeah, these
Good
are just,
discipline.
No, I'm not a big drinker, but
I actually went to last night because I'm trying to get back into shape. I thought I have to finally, and I went to open a bottle of wine last night and I put it back. I thought, no,
well done.
Yeah, Monday.
That is very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, no.
My problem was I wouldn't just open one bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
it's like the packet of chips.
If it was in the house, I'd be like, I know it's there.
You can, yeah, you know it's there.
and
if
it
you
would
don't-
just irritate me. Even if I'd called it a night, I'd be like, I've got to get up. I can't know that that's there.
I must say, and since we've done the wide world of sports style of products, I've never had more fun.
Me
you know,
too. I think
introducing.
he's done it better than anyone.
And there's
Marty.
another one coming in now. So let's bring in the Mitch Dowd.
Oh,
Mitch.
Jesus. Here's Mitch. Thanks, Jared.
Now this
Don't
is
think you haven't done a great job today,
no,
mate.
he's been fantastic.
He's
Jared.
been wonderful.
So Mitch Dowd,
I'm assuming
Marty,
his work experience.
no, he is on the clock.
No,
trust me.
yeah, he's on the
You're
payroll.
not paying him, are you?
Oh,
Yeah, we
yeah,
are.
of
What's
course.
he do?
He makes us all look good. You need
He,
to actually,
he actually does all that video editing and
yeah. So you
post-production.
got to suck up to
Oh,
him.
yawn. What else is boring? Fuck off, Jared.
So Mitch Dowd have Father's Day sorted.
Yes, they do, Dos.
They everything from underwear, socks, loungewear, all comfy sleepwear as well.
Yes.
But the
Oh,
best
look
thing
at
about
this.
it is they've got all the coolest patterns going around.
They do. So
Yeah,
again,
that'll fit. I mean, I'm going to I'll low ride it, you know what I mean? I'll sit it under the gut.
Are you a PJ man in bed or are you naked?
I'm not in bed. I'm old school nude.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've also got an electric blanket, which if you don't have one, I know it's an old person's thing to have, but my God, an electric blanket, wander in there about an hour before you're going to call it a night, put it on, and then just ease in and turn it off. You don't need it on
Yeah,
through the night.
that's the key. Yeah.
You just need to have it to warm the bed.
Good.
Oh, I sleep on my front now.
I actually, when I stay at my grandma's house, I have the
Oh, really?
blanket's beautiful. She always, same as you.
When
Now,
I stay there, I use her
yeah,
blanket
good,
as well.
good. I'm glad.
She's a beautiful lover, your grandmother.
She is.
So whether you're into
Apparently.
whether into the bold prints, the classic essentials, or lounging in comfort, there's something you'll actually use every
There's
dad
a
out there.
range.
So head to mitchdowd.com.au, use the code dos&d, 30% off, dude.
30% off. So for Father's
Jeez, that's
Day,
a good special.
I
like
know.
we said, for Father's Day, guys, you
What
know,
are they throwing the kids in Bangladesh that make this stuff? Just joking, Mitch. Relax.
Mitch Dowd, comfort where it counts.
comfort where it counts.
Comfort where it counts.
And then off air too, Marty, we've got some golf accessories. We know because we were talking
he
to
loves
Flem
his
before.
golf.
You love your golf. But this is a good thing, Marty. You said you lose your balls out on the course. We've got some balls sorting you out, golf balls, because that has been a topic of the day.
Yeah.
Got some socks. I had a towel for you too, mate. We'll give that
I
to you off
played
air.
with Glenn Robbins years ago, and this is the man.
He's quite handy, isn't he?
He's a very good
Yeah.
golfer. He goes into the bush. He comes out of the bush with his pants around his knees and a golf ball between his arse cheeks. And he says, he just comes out and goes, "Who's hitting a titless 3?"
That is hilarious.
I mean, that's all you want.
That is incredible.
That's all
original
you
comedy.
want from a guy.
Oh, that is comedy genius. You know?
Isn't it?
Oh.
You're not expecting
No,
it.
no,
You're
no,
just
no.
minding
You know what?
your own business.
No one else can pull that off but him.
You think,
you know?
you're thinking this is going to be an interesting putt, and
got
there
a
he is with a
titless
golf
3.
ball between his arse cheeks, asking who's hitting the 3.
Oh, well,
Genius.
on that note, as we wrap up, the Red Card Tour, how do we get involved?
MartySheargold.com has tickets, and it's through one of the people that takes $7 or $8 of every one of your tickets. They're great people.
Is there a place we can go to?
Well,
not to
Morris
avoid them?
House in Melbourne. I know you're
Oh
playing
yeah,
there.
later in the year I'm
Yeah.
going to do that.
Yeah, I went there throughout the comedy. It's a good little venue.
It's a great room.
We'll head there.
It's a
We'll go there.
fantastic
We'll come.
room. I'll whack you on the door.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, even
I'll
better.
just put do's and don'ts.
Oh, that's what
there it
everyone
is.
bloody does that. Do's
Yeah.
and don'ts. Yeah, they do that to piss us off.
Yeah, so that's later in the year, and then I'm just around the country really now till December.
Beautiful.
So have a look. come and see the
Yeah,
show.
for sure.
I'll be the bloke on stage, slightly chubby but sober, thinking about strippers, not going anymore.
We didn't. Yeah.
Oh, we did get to bring up the strippers.
Bugger.
But don't leave early, because apparently if you leave early, by the time you get in your car and drive off,
Right.
they'll still be going on about you. So
There's something that's so irritating about people walking out of a comedy show.
yeah,
I'm still thinking about it. Like, why?
It's just disrespectful.
yeah.
But what did you think it was going to be? It was 10 minutes in. Like, give us a chance.
We gave it a go.
We gave it a go.
Well, I tell you what,
We'll give it a go
I'm
in
tipping it. You
December.
give it a go. Give it a go, because I don't think you'll be disappointed.
No, you won't be. And if you are, I couldn't give a fuck.
No, well, they paid their ticket, so it's
Mate,
going
I
in your
got his
pocket.
money.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
Yeah.
I
exactly
think
right.
it's
An
funny.
Eventbrite are getting $7. So yeah.
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 Well, you can pay. Can you pay you cash at the door or not? That doesn't exist.
Oh, those days are over.
There's a big wink for anyone listening. Marty Sheargold, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.